You didn't say a word. You didn't cry. You didn't slam a door. You sat down on the couch, staring at nothing, carrying something heavy that you hadn't even fully processed yourself yet. And then your dog walked over, slowly, quietly. They rested their head on your knee and just stayed there. You probably thought they could sense something was off. You were right. But what's actually happening in that moment goes so much deeper than instinct or coincidence. Your dog didn't just sense your mood. Their brain ran a multi-system biological scan of your entire physiological state and responded with a precision that most humans never manage. And the science behind how they do it will change the way you understand your dog forever. Number 1. The common misconception. Most people explain this moment in one of two ways. Either dogs are just empathetic animals, or they were probably just looking for attention. Both explanations are lazy, not because they're entirely wrong, but because they skip over the actual mechanism. Saying a dog is empathetic without explaining how that empathy works neurologically is like saying a calculator is smart without understanding that it runs on code. Your dog is not reading your mind, they are reading your body, and the level of detail they extract from that reading, from your scent, your posture, your breathing, your skin, is something that took researchers decades to begin to understand. The story doesn't start with your dog sensing your sadness. It starts long before that. It starts with what your body does when you're sad, before you've even admitted it to yourself. Number 2, your body tells the truth before you do. When you experience sadness, grief, or emotional distress, your body undergoes a series of measurable physiological changes. Cortisol levels rise, adrenaline shifts, your heart rate variability decreases, your breathing pattern changes, becoming slower, shallower, more irregular. The biochemistry of your sweat changes. Even the micro-expressions on your face, movements happening in fractions of a second that you aren't consciously aware of, shift in specific, documented ways. None of this is invisible to your dog. Research published in the journal Learning and Behavior in 2018 by a team at the University of Lincoln and the University of Sao Paulo confirmed something that dog owners had suspected for years, but science had never fully verified. Dogs can distinguish human emotional expressions, specifically happy versus fearful faces, and they respond differently to each. But more importantly, they don't rely on just one signal. They cross-reference. They look at your face. They read your body posture. They process your scent. And they integrate all three into a single emotional assessment with a speed and accuracy that outperforms most human social perception. When you're sad, you are broadcasting that sadness across every biological channel simultaneously. Your dog receives all of them at once. Number 3, the scent of sadness is real. Here's the part that sounds like science fiction, but it's thoroughly documented. Emotional states produce chemically distinct scent signatures. When your body releases cortisol and adrenaline in response to emotional distress, those compounds alter the chemistry of your sweat, your breath, and the air directly around you in ways that are imperceptible to the human nose, but completely legible to a dog. Research from Queen's University Belfast, published in PLOS One in 2022, trained dogs to identify human stress through scent samples alone, with no visual or auditory cues whatsoever. The dogs successfully identified stress-related scent changes with an accuracy rate of over 90% across controlled trials. Think about what that means. Before you've said a single word, before your face has fully settled into an expression, before you've even consciously registered what you're feeling, your dog has already detected the chemical change in the air around you. They knew something was wrong before you did, and their nervous system doesn't just register that information, it responds to it. The scent of your distress activates the same neural pathways in your dog's brain that are triggered when they detect a threat in the environment. They don't experience your sadness abstractly. They feel the biological urgency of it. Number 4, why they come to you instead of moving away. This is where it gets remarkable. Most animals, when they detect a stress signal from another creature, have one of two responses. They either investigate the threat or they move away from it, fight or flight. That's the evolutionary baseline. Dogs do something different. When they detect emotional distress in their bonded human, they move toward it. A 2018 study published in Learning and Behavior, led by researcher Emily Sanford at Johns Hopkins University, tested whether dogs would actively work to reach a distressed owner. Dogs whose owners were behind a closed door, making sounds of distress, opened the door significantly faster than dogs whose owners were behind a closed door, humming calmly. And critically, dogs that were less stressed themselves opened the door faster. They weren't paralyzed by your distress. They were mobilized by it. The researchers described this as evidence of empathic concern in dogs, not just emotional contagion, where they simply mirror your state, but a motivated response to help. The dog isn't just feeling something because you're feeling something. The dog is trying to do something about it. And the reason they can do this, the reason they move toward distress instead of away from it, comes back to that oxytocin loop. The bond between a dog and their owner is neurochemically structured around approach and closeness. Your pain doesn't push them away, it pulls them in. Number 5. What they're actually doing when they sit with you. When your dog rests their head on your lap and stays there without asking for anything, without pawing at you, without trying to play, that behavior has a name in animal behavior research. It is called contact comfort seeking, and it is one of the most sophisticated pro-social behaviors documented in non-human animals. But here's what most people don't realize. They're not just comforting you. The contact is regulating both of you simultaneously. Research measuring heart rate variability in dog-owner pairs during physical contact shows that within minutes of sustained touch, both the human and the dog show measurable decreases in cortisol and increases in HRV, meaning both nervous systems are moving toward calm together. You are co-regulating, two separate biological systems from two different species, synchronizing through physical proximity. A 2024 study from the University of Jyväskylä in Finland found that this synchronization was strongest during emotionally charged situations, not during neutral, everyday interactions. The bond activates most powerfully, precisely when one of you needs it most. Your dog isn't just sitting with you. They are lending you their nervous system. Number 6. The warning worth paying attention to. There is one pattern that researchers flag as clinically significant, and most owners never connect the dots. Dogs that live with chronically sad or depressed owners develop measurably elevated baseline cortisol levels over time. A landmark study from Linköping University in Sweden, published in Scientific Reports in 2019, found that long-term stress levels between dogs and their owners are genuinely synchronized, not just in the moment, but across months. This means your emotional state doesn't just affect your dog in the moment they come to comfort you. It shapes their neurological baseline over time. Dogs living with owners experiencing prolonged depression, grief, or chronic anxiety show behavioral changes. Reduced play behavior, increased clinginess, disrupted sleep, that mirror the symptoms of anxiety in the dog itself. Your dog absorbs your emotional world, not metaphorically, biochemically. So the next time you're sitting alone with something heavy on your chest, the kind of heavy that you haven't told anyone about yet, the kind you're not even sure how to put into words, and your dog quietly walks over. No noise, no dramatics. They just come to you and press their warmth against your leg and stay. In that moment, you might feel like you're the one being weak, like you're the one who needs something. But here's what the science is actually telling you. Your dog detected the change in your chemistry before you admitted it to yourself. Their nervous system responded before their brain had language for it. They crossed the room, not for food, not for play, not for anything they needed, but because every layer of their biology, shaped across 15,000 years of living beside us, pointed at one single instruction: go to them. They are not just sitting with you, they are lending you their calm, their heartbeat slowing down next to yours, their breathing steadying the air around you. Two nervous systems from two completely different species, pulling each other back from the edge, without a single word spoken between them. You didn't ask for help, you didn't say you were hurting, but they knew, they always know, and they came anyway. If this made you look over at your dog differently, if it changed something in the way you understand that quiet moment when they come to you without being called, leave a comment below. Tell me about your dog. Tell me about the time they showed up exactly when you needed them, before you said a word to anyone, before you even admitted to yourself that you were not okay. I want to hear that story, because I think more people have it than will ever say it out loud. And if no one in your life has told you lately, you're lucky to have them, and they're lucky to have you.